Wow, that was wild. What do you do when you don't have any money? You have a house that needs to be sold. It's got a lot of repairs. You're trying to move out of state. Well, that's what our Hillcrest seller did. They reached out to us. We're gonna tell you the story. Just stick around. Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're headed to our project on Hillcrest Street in Harrisburg, and wanted to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on the situation here, why we bought it, how we're able to structure a creative deal with the sellers to suit their needs. So, all right, so this seller was in a situation where they needed to sell. They were moving out of state and they needed to move by a specific date. Their house needed a lot of work and they didn't have a whole lot of cash in the bank to be able to move, pay for moving costs and the down payment on the next house that they were getting. So they reached out to us to sell their property, and we were able to go by, look at it, and noticed that there were some significant improvements that needed to be made to the property. So in a situation like this, with a seller who needs to sell by a specific date, they need that guarantee and the certainty that somebody's going to buy their house. They need to know exactly how much they're going to walk away from the sale with. We're able to provide that for them. A lot of times when somebody lists a property on the open market or on the MLS, they're listing with the realtor, there's realtor commissions. At the end of the day, when there's negotiations back and forth, the price may change. There may be negotiations after you get the property under contract for repairs or things that come up. And the way that we operate, the price that we give the seller from the get-go is the price that we give them. And it's a very rare occurrence where we actually have to drop that price. So this seller needed that certainty. They needed that guarantee that the house was going to close on a specific date and that they were going to get the money that they needed. So that's how we presented this. They also needed about a month after selling the house to be able to stay in the house while they were packing up their stuff. So they needed that cash up front, and they needed to stay in the house after the fact. So what we did is we structured a purchase where there was an escrow holdback. They got the majority of that purchase price up front, and then once they moved out completely, they cleaned out all of their stuff and they handed over the keys to us. They got the remaining balance and we got access to the property. Hey, just want to say thank you guys for following along on our journey. If you want to help us out, give us a like and subscribe, hit the bell notification. It really helps us be able to grow this channel. And if you've got ideas for content that you want to see, give us a comment below and let us know what you'd like to see. All right, now let's go check out this property. This house, the seller reached out to us from a direct mail campaign. And we've actually talked to her probably like twice over the last year, but this most recent time that she was talking with us, she expressed the most sense of urgency. So we're able to work with her. Let's go check it out and see what we got going on inside here. We just painted the exterior, so really giving it a nice facelift. It's gonna be looking real good. The neighbors aren't too happy about us painting it white because their house is white, but too bad, so sad. Okay, so this house needed a lot of work, but for the most part, everything's pretty much cosmetic. Paint, flooring, kitchen, bathroom upgrades. We didn't have to do anything structural with it, so it was a nice, clean renovation, just how I like it. And still smells like smoke, but we haven't painted on the inside yet, so that's probably why. But we pretty much gutted everything. We've got a bunch of drywall patches and prep work for paint. This house was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot house. And based off of the price point of the neighborhood and the seller's asking price and the amount of money that we're gonna have to put into the renovation, we're just having a really hard time making it work. So what we did is we went back to the drawing board and see, hey, how could we make this deal work? And one of those things was if we added a 4th bedroom or office space, then we could bump that price point up a little bit. So what we did is we enclosed this room here and created it into a office, or it could be a bedroom. We've got a closet. We're gonna have French doors right here. So it's kind of dark in here now because there's stuff blocking the windows, but there will be a lot of natural light that'll be still flowing through here. So now we're selling this as a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house versus a 3-bedroom, which bumps our price point up on the sale side a little bit more. Another really cool feature about this house over here is this massive sunroom, which is gonna get a huge facelift, and I'm super stoked about it. We're gonna get all new sliding doors in here and a new deck around, but it really opens up to this beautiful acreage in the back that kind of butts up to property that the Speedway owns. So great location, you feel super secluded back here, and it really is like a nice feature for somebody who's in Charlotte. They wanna kind of feel like they're out in the country a little bit. You're gonna get that feeling here. All these classic racing hats. The guy worked in NASCAR. There's all sorts of old classic hats in here, which are pretty sick. Just a couple takeaways on this deal. The first thing is the importance of being able to be flexible with sellers on post-occupancy. That was a really big thing for them. The second thing is looking at ways for you to maximize the space that you have, potentially adding a bedroom, bathroom, if you've got a basement, finishing out the basement, and really working with the features of the house to potentially boost your sales price. And the last thing is one of my favorite things is whenever we're dealing with sellers who are in situations like this, I really want to focus on what are their biggest needs. If I come into the transaction or come into the home with a person and I say, I'm a cash buyer, I can close in 7 days and I can do this, this, and this for you, you really miss out on being able to hear some of their specific problems and the things that they're dealing with and be able to address those specifically. So I like to take off my investor hat and put on my trusted advisor hat or my guide hat and just really try to work with these sellers in situations to guide them through that process of selling. What is it that you need as a seller? Is it to close quickly? Is it to close in 6 months or a year from now? Do you need, what's the most important thing for you? Is it the high sales price? Is it terms? If you don't take the time to talk to sellers, you're really missing out on the potential of structuring really good deals. And so don't want you to miss out on good deals. So take your time with the sellers. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about how to do deals like this, follow along. We'll just be pulling back the curtain on how we structure deals like this and how to make a win-win situations for both the sellers and us as investors. Give us a like, subscribe to the page, and follow along for more. Boosh.
Thank you.